Now, this is a Vivint camera mounted at the residence of Sean Gathright. This is June 22nd, Saturday, in the middle of the day. This is the beginning of that day for these conspirators. You're going to see Mr. Gathright and Mr. Chance loading a Chevy Impala that is being driven by Mr. Gathright, Sean Gathright. It is registered to his mother, but it is the car that he drives and operates. And it is the car that transports the shooters, the assault team of which he is part of in this case. You're going to see them loading it with book bags, but you're also going to see them loading it with rolling duffel bags, long bags that appear to have weight to them. That's Mr. Gathright, Mr. Chance. You will see in the evidence that they are friends. That is the Impala, the black car.
Yeah.
We're talking about how they're going to load the heaviest bags into the trunk first. The BMW on the top part of the screen belongs to Mr. Chance. He would later go and retrieve his girlfriend, Miss Andrews, and bring her back to this residence. And that's in Jacksonville. Now, at some point that afternoon before they leave, Mr. Chance brings his contribution to the assault team. This is going to be in slow-mo, but you're going to see a Glock handgun with an extended magazine. You see his finger resting down the side of the slide. He tucks the gun into his waistband as he walks back into Mr. Gathright's residence. Notably, he knows the combination of Mr. Gathright's residence. And you can see the extended magazine coming out from the bottom of his hand. You can see the trigger guard below his hand and his finger extended down the slide of that pistol. Mr. Chance on the left, Sean Gathright in the middle, and Miss Andrews on the right. They end up leaving that residence, Mr. Gathright driving the black Impala. They travel from Jacksonville that Saturday afternoon down around near Gainesville, all the way down 75, down to 275, and they come down, and you will see them end up at the Airbnb which Mr. Rashad Murphy has booked for them, which is sitting literally 1.38 miles from the home to suites, just on the north side of the USF campus, the University of South Florida. Now, you're going to hear about an investigative device called LPRs. You may know what those are. It stands for license plate recognition. It is a system, in this case, Flock, which is a company that produces these systems. They utilize different camera systems that integrate into their network. In this case, the camera system is from the Florida Highway Patrol. Flock is frequently contracts with cities, with law enforcement agencies. Sometimes they'll put up their own network of cameras, which pick that license plate up as it is en route traveling. And in this case, investigation revealed Mr. Gathright's Chevy Impala being picked up on this license plate reader on June 22nd, 2024. Here it is at the merger of I-75 and 275 heading southbound. You see the latitude, longitude coordinates on the third row up on the right. You see the area or nearest address is New Tampa. It is a Florida Highway Patrol camera. Now, in the top part 3 rows down, you see the date, and you see a time, 11:39:28 p.m. UTC. That is Coordinated Universal Time, what used to be known as Greenwich Mean Time. It is a standard utilized in aviation, utilized in space travel, but is it a standard that is utilized a lot of times by cell carriers and call detail records from cell phone companies. And it's utilized in law enforcement frequently, but it is a standard time. Here, they have given us the conversion to Eastern Daylight Time, which in June, here in the Eastern Standard Time, we are in Eastern Daylight Time, EDT. And you go 4 hours back to 7:39 p.m. So this is them arriving in Tampa at 7:39 p.m. And again, Coordinated Universal Time, UTC, is like Greenwich Mean Time. It's basically the time zone in England. Two of our other conspirators, Rashad Murphy on your left and his blood cousin, Davion Murphy, on the right. They are also picked up, this time on an open AALPR license plate recognition report. He had obtained from his brother's, the mother of his brother's child, his nephew, a woman, and a car outside of these groups of people, one that would not necessarily be recognized by someone, and a car that would later be utilized by Mr. Chance and his girlfriend as a tracker surveillance video that would be following and tracking. The evidence will show Charles Jones and his friends as they celebrated through those early morning hours. So you see on the right-hand side here, this is being picked up June 22nd, and they list this company does, in Eastern Daylight Time, 7:46 p.m. at Bruce B. Downs at Tampa Palms. So they are heading into the New Tampa area, heading down just north of the USF campus. Here we see their routes being covered on the right-hand side. Yes, by that Chevy Cruze, the route that it takes coming and going back. On the left-hand side are areas where it is being picked up on license plate readers. Okay, first one on top, June 21st, is going back to Friday. University Drive, Dolphin Drive is an address or an area of Jacksonville. That's when it's still in Jacksonville. 6:22 in the morning, it's driving, it's on Highway 441 at 18:09 hours. That is 6:09 p.m. It is at 326 in Gainesville Road near Gainesville. At 7:47 on the 22nd, Tampa Palms Boulevard and Bruce B. Downs, BBD. And later in the early morning hours, you can see where it is being picked up on Hillsborough and North 15th. And then on the 23rd at 6 p.m. later in the day, again, now going back to Jacksonville northbound. That Hillsborough Avenue and North 15th is an address just south of Teasers. You'll see in the evidence that while surveilling the victim and his entourage of friends, that Mr. Chance and Miss Andrews at times drove away from Teasers and then came back. This is showing you on your left side the Chevy Cruze and the Impala being picked up at the same times, the same locations, by the same license plate readers. So you can see they're highlighted at 18:09 hours. They are both being picked up at 326 in Gainesville Road. At 1947 and 1945, they were both being picked up at Tampa Palms Boulevard and Bruce B. Downs. At 3:41 hours, Hillsborough Avenue and 15th Street. This is the Impala and the Cruze operating in tandem, traveling in tandem, coming from Jacksonville, and then operating through into the early morning hours of the attack.